Welcome everyone to the second part of the Galaxy Guide series. It's still talking about 5-block theory, and it's the second video of the part 1. It's called 1.2. If you haven't seen the theory part that, I would highly recommend to go watch that. But here's a quick recap. We are going to focus on 5-block theory, and we are dividing the hands into 5 blocks, and then find the redundant tile. We will try to balance the blocks, and we will select the blocks based off efficiency, hand value, and safety. If we are short on blocks, we're keeping floating tiles, and we are trying to always move towards an all simples and a painful hand. We are one away here. We have 2 blocks here in the character suit. We have 1 block or 2 blocks here in the circles and 1 block here in the bamboos. And we are waiting, or the acceptance here is 1, 4, and 5 of characters, 1 of dot, and 3, 6 of dot. If you we can use this 5 of characters as a pair, but we can also cut the 5 here for 2, 3 here, and then we have 2 sequences here in the character suit. That is the complex shape here in the character suits. And now we have the 5 here, and it becomes a triplet now, and we then discard the 3 here for a waiting hand. For the 3 and 6, for Riichi 1 Akatora, it's not a lot of value, but it's a good weight. And there's the chase, and we Shimo here, Ipachimo Dora, and it's about Mangan. Mangan meaning 8,000 points as non-dealer, but we are just shy of that. Seeing the Riichi stick here on the left, very nice as well, good start. He will be discarding the honor spheres, and then I will be dividing the hands into 5 blocks. You can just choose the user styles here at the beginning. It's always usually the winds and the dragon tiles, especially if you don't have a pair of them. But we can already look at our hand now. It looks like 3 blocks here in the character suit, but the 8-9 edge weight is very weak. So I don't really want to count this as a block, but for now 3 blocks there. And now we have 1 block here with a 1 of dots. We have a 3-4 as 1 block, so we have 5 blocks, and then a floater with a 4 of dots. But we are looking for more floaters, and we got it here with the 8. So we are keeping that. And we are going to discard the green dragon, and then we try to get 5 blocks for a winning hand. Our hand does not have obvious Raku meaning winning condition, so we have to keep it closed. And that is exactly what we will do. We now have 2 blocks here in the circle, so we have 6 blocks right now. So we can actually cut the edge weight here and then keep floating with this 4 of dot. We have a pair-based hand here, but it's not really part of the video, but we are slightly moving towards all simples, and we might have a 7 pairs hand. 7 pairs is a special type of hand. Well, instead of 4 blocks and a pair, you have 7 pairs instead. But we can still get an all simples here. But now, what do we got? It's really interesting here. How would you divide a hand here? We have 3 blocks here and the dots. 1 block here in the characters and 1 block here in the bamboos. It's also a store acceptance. So we are cutting the characters here, and then we have a 2 for 4 for characters for 1 block, 3 tile block here, 3 tile mid 4 for 5 here in the circles, and a 7-8 for a final block, and then the Dora open weight here. So I like the 2 there. This is already 1 card, and here we can discard the 4 of dots. We will just discard it. It's the more dangerous style, and it's not the most efficient tile. The 2 of characters would be the most efficient tile, but we are keeping some safety here and discarding the 4 into the 2 and then keeping a safe tile here. Looking in the 3-sided weight here, 369 of dots, and the Tora here with the 2-5 of bamboo. We don't have Raku though, so we have to keep it closed. Oh, Raku is basically Riichi. When we get a completed or a waiting hand, that is. This 8 is pretty dead. It's also pretty safe, but the triplet of 8 beans, the 8 bean or the 8 of dot will never become a triplet, and the 4 of characters is once here on the right, so it's very hard to reach that shape though. There's a Riichi here on the left, and we'll sail 1 away, and we will press the Riichi button if we get a waiting hand. And if not, we probably see what will happen. This 8 is probably safe, or safe enough for me. It's safe against the Riichi. Riichi is actually painful with 1 euro for 3,900 plus the Riichi stick. That's why it says 4,900, but the net gain is just 3,900 there. We will be discarding the honors first, and then we will put the remaining tiles into blocks. There is some consideration on the wins and the terminal tiles, but I won't go into depth about it. But we'll just discard the honors, and then we will divide the rest of our hand into 5 or perhaps 6 blocks, and then we will continue from there. Okay, we need to get rid of this east, but we can already see how our hand will be ending up. We have 3 pairs. We have 2 blocks here in the characters. We have 2 blocks here in the dots, and we have 2 blocks here in the bamboo, drawing another east. And we are cutting one of the blocks here, which is, in my opinion, the weakest block. The 2 of characters is the Tora, so we definitely want to keep that. And the east is the round wind here. It says east, so we want to keep the east as well. And then we will have to decide on what we will cut next after the east goal, but I think it's going to be 1 and 3. We lose out on the Tora, but the pairs here are pretty nice. Is it good enough for me? No, I think we are still playing 6 blocks here, meaning 1 block in characters, 2 blocks in dots, 2 blocks in bamboo as well, and then east. And then here we can cut 1 into 3. We miss out on the 3 of bamboo here, which is really unfortunate. But we are well trying to get the Tora in our hand as well. And now the 9 is dead. Let's keep a floater here, but it's not the best floater. Because of reasons I will not tell you right now, but we have an extra 3 here, which is nice. The 7-8 only waits on the 6 because the 9 of dot is 4 times cut. There are only 5, not 5, there are only 4 copies of each star. So we are never getting a 9 here, and we can cut the 8 here and perhaps force an all triplets hand. Just like the hand here on the left is probably all triplets, and we are trying to get an all triplets ourselves now as well for additional value. And there's a hidden Tempai, and it's a run with water effects. Okay. 2,000 points. You have a very playable hand here. If you can look towards the suits here, the 3 suits, we have painful hand, and it can go all simples as well. We have one nice turn, we don't have a pair yet. So we are just discarding the honors, and then we will try to figure out our shapes right after. This is a nice field as well. Then let's look at the blocks here. We have 2 blocks here in the bamboos. We have 1 or 2 blocks here in the dots, and we have 1 or 2 blocks here in the characters. And if we draw a 1 of bamboo, we actually have 3 blocks in the bamboo, but it's very unlikely that we pair it up because it will just get cut. Now we have 2 blocks here in the characters, so 2 blocks here in the bamboo. Wow, now we can. Well, what's the best cut here? We are losing out on so much acceptance. I think it's this. I'm not 100% sure on this card, but the Torah is still a good draw. If we draw like 3, 6 or 9 bamboo or 4 bamboo, we have 2 full blocks here in the bamboos, and not a pair and a block, but 2 full blocks. And then we have a headless shape, headless meaning that we don't have a defined pair yet, and here we got rewarded. We can cut the 3 of characters, the 4 of bamboo, but here we are going to go for safety. We are cutting the 4 of bamboo and then the 3 of characters. Looking in the 3-sided weight here, 3, 6, 9, and then the 4, 7 here for all simples and painful. Hopefully we are cutting the 3 here because it's redundant, and then we're trying to keep the safer tile, but unfortunately it deals in here for 2000 points plus 300. It's a bonus sticks. Something that you don't need to know, but there are bonus sticks which are 300 each. It seems to be a Feru honor here, Feru honor hand, also known as Rakuhai. Which means that we can open here. We have 2 blocks here in the character suits, 1 block here in the dots, 1 block here in the bamboos, and 1 block here in the white dragons, meaning 5 blocks. But we have an edge weight here which we really want to replace. So if we draw like a good middle tile, we are definitely going to keep that. I guess we can just cut ourselves. It doesn't have that much use, but here we are still stuck on this edge weight, so we really want to upgrade here with this floating 4 of dots. It's connected to the 2 dots, but it can still extend with the 5 or 6 of dot, and then it becomes its own shape. I think we are cutting the edge weight here, and we still maintain 2 blocks in the character suit, 1 block here in the dots, 1 block bamboo and 1 block honors here, and we can't call that because we won't have 2 blocks anymore. The field should be a half flush in the character suit here on the left. So we also don't really want to play 2 blocks here in the character suit, but we don't really have a choice here. The hand is slightly too cheap to really open. That is why we skip the course. But now we can actually cut the east and then play 1 block here in the character suit and then 2 blocks here in the dots. And it's not a half flush. It's a. They had that. They got a 2 for 6 here, which really made me believe they had a half flush because they had too many blocks there. And then when you can go for a half flush, you usually want to go for a half flush. Let's just go the honors first, and then we will divide the hand into 5 blocks. We can do it now. We have a Feru honor here. We having 1 block honors, 2 blocks here in the dots, and then 1 block here in the bamboo with a floating 7, and we have a 2 for 6. Let's just put that here on the right side so you can clearly see that's a 2 for 6 for a final block. and we need one more block. And the south is our sheet wind and the round wind, granting us 2 Han if we have a triplet of it. But for now, the only thing that we really want to call is the red dragon. And now we are, after the red dragon, we don't have a head. We don't have a distinct pair yet. But we can turn the 1-1-1-3 bamboo shape into one sequence and one pair. But we have to discard the Torah for that. I'm not seeing that much value, so I'm cutting the tree here, which is really not efficient, but I'm keeping the Torah. We can pair it up, it's nice, strong around it is perfectly fine as well. But we kinda want more value here. So we are just cutting the tree. We accepted 2 and the 3 of bamboos for our waiting hand, but we want to keep the Torah here. Which accept less styles. It's 4 less styles. It's actually, yeah, it's 4 less styles, but it's Torah, so we kind of want to keep it. There would be our waiting hand, but it would be 1 Han and 2 Han with a Riichi on a bad weight. So we can wait on the Torah pair. If we can call the dots here, we can wait on the Torah, and that's probably what we are going to do because we don't want to be waiting around too long here with this floating Torah, and that is nice. The 9 of dot is kinda dead, but after the 2 of dot card, we accept 4, 5, 6 and the 9 of dot here for our waiting hands, and then 6, 7, 8, 9 of bamboo as well. If you look closely, we don't have a pair yet, so if we pair up any tile here, which is like 7, 8 or something, we have a waiting here. We are waiting here on the 5 of dots. It is a special type of shape. It's a closed triplet without a head, and it's one of the strongest shapes that you can have. And we are going to stay hidden here. We paired up the 7, we can cut the 8 for red dragon, Torah 2 hand, and we are waiting now on something that's in the pond here on the person here on the right, which means that it's more likely to be discarded if people are actually defending against the Riichi, but they aren't defending against the Riichi, so they deal in instead. It's 12,000 points. And we are currently second. We are dealer here in South 2. And we don't have any honor, so we can divide our hand into blocks right now. You see 1 block here in the character suit, 3 blocks here in the dots, and perhaps 2 in the bamboos here as well. But here we have an interesting decision. Because the 7 of bamboo is loose here and the 5 of character is loose, but we don't have any value, so we are cutting the 1-1 here for the floating 7, which is next to the Torah 5 of bamboo, and we are trying to get more value out of this. Here with the 6 here, we have all symbols here. We have Torah acceptance as well, and that is why we went 1-1 here. We are going back into, like, back in Santen, it's called in Japanese, slowing down the hand. Basically, it means moving away from waiting hands. This 5-7 dot of shape is still very weak, so we want to keep the extra 5 of character, so we can upgrade here with the extra 5 of character, and we have now a 2-sided weight here. You might have seen a mixed symbol sequence, but if we get Riichi, Thunder, and Torah, it's plenty of value already. So we don't need to win on the 6 of dot, which is 1 cut here on the right, and we are cutting the 5 of dot to keep a safer tile in the red dragon. People are really not defending in this hanchan. Another Ipatsu deal in, I think. They gave 12,000 points, I think, and then they gave 8,000 points refund. You don't have to refund the players which just gave you points. It's not a really good strategy. You really want to keep your points to yourself. Although there are some guys which says if you win a lot, you should give some points back. But I'm more like, if we can win, let's just win more. There's a different mentality. We have a Vesper here, which is ideal because they are non-value owners, so we can have a painful hand here with this extra with the Vesper, and here how to split up the blocks. If you see that we kind of have like 6 blocks, you are right, and we have 2 blocks here in the character suits, 2 blocks here in the dot suits, and 1 block here in the bamboo suit, and we still have a bad shape here, and a painful hand has to wait on a 2-sided weight. So if our final weight is just 8 of dot, we don't have painful. This is interesting. I think we are cutting we are 1 away with the 2, but we are cutting this 9 into 7 here. Going back, moving away from Tempai, but the waiting on this 8 of dot is so bad because it's just no value. So we are actually going back in our hand to try to get painful or pull the Dora or pull something better. The Dora is a 9 of character, so if we draw an 8 or a 9, it's both pretty good. And we discarding the 7-9 here. We don't have a defined pair yet. We are actually short on blocks, if you noticed. We kinda short on blocks, that is why we are floating with this 4, 5, 6, 7 save for 2 blocks. But we are currently short on blocks. And we can't open, and the 6 is really unfortunate. But I think we are fixing the pair here because we see 3-1 dots here. And if we draw a 4 of dot, we can connect it to the 6 for our final block. The 1-4 of bamboo is equally as that, but we can't maintain both saves with an additional tower, I think. And here we are 1 away. And we are cutting the 2 here because the extra 2, so the 2 of bamboo are completely dead, and we only accept 2 more 3 of dots here. We have a good weight at the end, but we still like an upgrade here in the character suit for more value. And if we end up on the 4-7 of dots, it's something called Futon. It means when you have discarded the tile that you are waiting on, you can't win off of run. But here we don't have that problem because we drew the 7 back, and we have to press the Riichi button before the time expires. And we have a Riichi Nomi, it's just Riichi, but it's a good weight. So we are just going to Riichi here in South 3. And we are the first one as well, which is also kinda nice. With our weight has 5,000 remaining. There are 3-1 of dots in the pawns of everyone. There's a 1 of bamboo, so the last of bamboo should be still good in the wall. But there are some hands that might have it still. If you look at, if we kept the 7-9 here, the 7-9 of dot, our hand would be completely stuck. So we really made our hand unstuck by discarding the bad shape and trying to get more upgrades with floating towers. I assume people are not pushing, but I think the person across is definitely pushing. They are lost, so they have to push basically. Because the points don't matter, it's just only the placement. So if they deal in, they are lost. If they don't deal in, they are probably lost as well. Another 4 of characters. The person here on the right is also pushing now because they are open here. I don't think they have Raku though here on the right. I don't think they have. Do they have the red dragons? Yeah, they can have Raku. They can have the red dragon here on the right. And there's the chase here across. This is not what we wanted to see because we just wanted to win. Well, just to be very safe here, and luckily we didn't deal in. And it's exhaustive throw. And you pay a penalty for being non-waiting, and they didn't have Raku here. And you gain points if you are waiting. And the person here on the left was the only player who was not waiting, so they pay 1000 each to the other players. You have a special hand here, and not a special hand, but we have a half flush here with 3 blocks here in the dots, and we have 1 block here in the west. So we are just disregarding efficiency here, and we are trying to get a half flush in the dots, and it's a hand that only has 1 suit and the honors, and that is exactly what we are going for. So we can just discard the rest of the tiles. It's unfortunate that the 1 of dot is 1 cut here as well as the west, but I don't see anything that obvious here anyway, which provides us value or an ability to get my hand close. The west is nice. Our hand is not worth that much unless we draw the south, but we can hold the south, the Tora tile, for an indefinite amount of time. We are also playing around the Tora here. The Tora is an honor, and that means that any hand that can hold honors is pretty strong. And then the half flush is like the usual suspect, and the Riichi as well. But we had a hand that probably can't finish close, so we are going to open for a half flush. We are now 2 away. We need 1 more block, and we don't have any floaters. So what we are trying to throw is a south or a red dragon, because the north is completely dead. There is technically 1 more 1 here, 1 more 1 of dot, but if we throw a north, I'm not going to keep it. It's way too weak for me. The south is 1 scut, which is pretty good for us, meaning that the hand values are reduced here. The hand value are lower than usual. But here we can go. We need 1 more block, and if we get a 1 of dots, we have a single weight here on the Dora or on the red dragon, but probably the Dora. And the person here on the left also has probably a flush in the character suit, and we have the dots here. So if you have a half flush, someone else likely has another half flush. We are keeping that for sure. We can build our final block around this 4 of dots. The white seconds are gone now. Ooh, this is scary. I think we are discarding the Dora right here. They don't have a big 3 dragons, but I suspect they are waiting here with this red dragon card. And then the options here are we can get. I think we kind of have to push. Yeah, okay, and we deal into 8k here. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that we just deal a waiting hand here, which was also like good enough for me. There was still a lot left. There on the left, what there could be waiting on. We have a West Rakuhai here, our Siege Wind, and we have another half flush situations, but we have 2 Tora, so we don't need to force a half flush here. But considering the scores, we need a half flush basically. So we are forcing the half flush again. How many blocks in the dots do you think we have? I count 3 blocks. And then 1 block honors basically, but we're waiting on the middleweight 6 here and the middleweight 8 for 2 blocks. So we have the 5-7 and the 7-9 here for 2 blocks, but we will be calling the 7s probably. As you know, this our hands our last hand didn't have much value, and we pushed in against an 8,000 point hand. But the issue is that I don't expect the person across to have it. No, they don't. The problem there is if you don't try to win, you're basically losing a lot more some of the time because they will just win by self-pick. We are 1 away. Here we need a 4 of characters, and then we still need a pair. We will be pulling out the Tora here to alleviate the 4 weight here, because the 4 dot weight is likely dead. It's the indicator, and we have 1, and then it's very easy to lose for our opponents, especially on the left. So we kinda expect the 4 dot to be dead weight here, so we will be calling the 3, 5 and the 7 dot here to try to not have to get the last 4 of dot. There are technically still 2 left, but probably they are being held. That's the most likely situation. We can draw a south as well. It's 4 dot, 8, 9 dot, and the south is all a waiting hand. The person on the left is progressing their hands, but there's nothing that we can do really. This Z-Dragon usually indicates that they are waiting, but like if we deal in again for 8k, it's perfectly fine, and I don't even think they have 8,000 points because we have 2 Tora here. I don't think the person across is really doing much. I think they are still very far away. We can actually call for a waiting hand. We can call the 3 and the 5. It's not great, but waiting is waiting basically, and the person across has to be waiting as well for the game to continue. So we do think they are waiting because they need to be waiting in order to not get lost here. He could have kept the 3 of bamboo here for higher tempi rate, waiting rates, but we just discarded it. The 2 of dots just passed, so we are pushing this out. We don't expect to win here. Just like earlier, the 4 of dots is likely being held. Here's at least one of them. But that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in another episode of the Galaxy Guide series.